Okay, we're in our notebooks. We are going to be on our next blank page. Okay, so we're going to be talking about the difference between conventional and organic agriculture. Because I know that we've heard the word organic before, but it's important that we know what it means. Okay, and if we're referring to our standards, it's compare organic farming versus conventional farming. So let's take a look. Okay, goodness, yes, it's me. Okay, so we are on the next blank page of our notebook. Thank you, Brooke. We're going to title it Organic versus Traditional Farming. We're going to be switching out the words of traditional, conventional, normal, regular. These really all mean the same thing of the standard, okay, the normal type of farming. And when I say normal, I don't mean that that's what everyone does, but it's the way that we've progressed. It's like if we were to talk about normal Cheetos versus extra hot Cheetos, right? They both exist, they're both used, they're both great, but when I say Cheetos, what are you going to think about? The normal ones, right? So typically when we say agriculture, we think of conventional agriculture or traditional farming, and there's also organic agriculture. It still exists, it still functions, a lot of people still use it, and it's very important, but it's just different. They exist in the same world. Okay, so we are on our next blank page. I'm going to see everyone titling it, okay? On Friday, we have a bit more of a free day. That's when I'm going to take someone's notebook and fix my table of contents because I'm very behind. And I know some of you guys have stayed up with it. I hope so. So okay, do you have awesome sauce? Okay, I'm seeing titles. Okay. So, and this is really to make sure that we can identify what it means when something is organic. So not just knowing it means it's good. So I have to know that that's where we're going to start off with, and that is okay. But it's understanding what it means when we say that something's organic. How is it grown? How is that different? How does that affect you? How does that affect the environment? Okay. So our title is Organic versus Traditional Farming or Conventional. Once again, I'm going to be changing out those words. If you're worried about weekly tasks from Tuesday, do not worry about it. You're required to write down the state officer's name and something that you learned. You guys wrote down much more than that, so that works for me. Okay, so your Tuesday weekly task is just whatever page you wrote all that stuff down on yesterday. If you were not here yesterday, then you're excused from that, okay? So, because there's no way to really make it up because she's not going to come back. So, moving forward. Let's start by talking about what we already know. So we're going to use the first two lines. So this is below your heading jar. Can I borrow yours? Okay, so we have our heading and our title. I know a lot of us tend to start writing stuff on this line as well. This is where we write our header. So to keep it organized, we'll leave it at that. Then we use our first two lines. These first two right below it. We're going to write down what we think normal, regular, traditional farming is. Okay, traditional or conventional farming. So let's take, thank you, Brooke. I know it's going to be a little bit loud. Let's take 2 minutes, and you have those two lines so we can limit ourselves. Think about what you think is traditional farming. What is farming? What's normal farming? Conventional farming. Okay, let's take those 2 lines and 2 minutes. I'll get it this time. Okay. So you're just writing it across. I think traditional farming is. What do you think they do? What do you think they make? What are some key things that you think about when you visualize a farm? Okay, let's take 30 more seconds. Some good answers. Okay, you can visualize these skills. When you see it in your head, what do you think? Great sentence starting. Traditional farming is when conventional agriculture is. So it's okay if you're still writing. Let's get a couple of answers. What is traditional farming? What is conventional agriculture? Ella? Never mind, that's okay. Alice?
So they probably use like tractors, or something like any pesticides or any other chemicals like that.
Okay, so you say they do or they don't?
They don't use any chemicals.
Okay, so maybe we think that they don't. That's okay. And then they definitely use tractors, right? Garrett?
I think it's just like putting the plant in the ground, it's a seed, and then adding the pesticides and the fertilizers, and then harvesting it.
Yeah.
Normal farming.
So, putting the seed in the ground, using pesticides and fertilizers, harvesting it. Agriculture. Wade, what do you think? That's a good one. Last one.
It's like, basically, like, if you say farming, the normal person would be like, oh, yeah, that's like farming, like, the tractors and like planting seeds and, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Planting seeds, tractors, that's what we visualize. Anna, I'll take yours last. Yes. Okay, so maybe when we do everything manually. So, the way that we're defining conventional farming, and you do not have to write this down. We're going to listen to it, we're going to take it in, we're going to start answering more questions later. Okay? So, conventional farming is the use of seeds that have been genetically altered through either breeding or they're GMO'd. And it's a reliance on chemical intervention to control pests and weeds. So, Alice, I see where you were going, but when we're talking about conventional in this form, and maybe using the word traditional is misleading. So, when I say conventional, I mean current. So this can be modern agriculture in the way that we do it broadly. So most of your food is made this way. All of the corn syrup in your cereal is made this way. Okay? So it's using seeds that we've made better. So either just through breeding or through genetically modifying them or through different other breeding methods that we've had to intervene. And then also relying on those traditional pesticides, herbicides, fertilizers, things that are often made in a lab or made synthetically. Can someone remind me what synthetic means? I know we talked about it with our past assignment. Zaina, do you remember? Yeah, made in a lab. So often we're using synthetic or man-made fertilizers, pesticides in order to control them because they're very strong and they're very effective. So let's compare that with organic agriculture. And I am going to have you write this definition down, or at least the first sentence. Okay? So, organically grown food is food grown and processed using no synthetic fertilizers or pesticides. This is when we talk about compost, when we talk about poop and manure to help fertilize stuff. This is where that's happening. Okay, organic farmers, ranchers, and food processors use agricultural methods intended to preserve the environment. So you don't have to include that last part, but it is important to note that another word that you'll come up on a lot when you're researching organic agriculture is the term sustainable agriculture. Okay, sustainable means that we're looking to sustain the environment, keep it good for longer. Okay, so right now to define organic, we're writing down this first sentence. So this is food that is grown and processed using no synthetic fertilizers or pesticides. So these are ones that are not made in a lab. So using things like vegetable compost or animal compost, animal manure, bat guano, fish emulsion. These are all just different words for poop, really. But oops, full of lots of nutrients. Okay, so this is how we're going to define organic moving forward.
Is that lunch?
Okay, awesome. So at this point, we have a ground level. Okay, maybe we can say a couple of words about conventional and organic. Right, if we were to summarize conventional now, what might we say? What's like 2 words? Miguel? Okay, synthetically grown. That works for me. You're using synthetic things to grow organic things, right? Often when we research the term organic, it just means that it comes from life. Give me 1 second. Hello? I do? Like, oh, Riley is your volleyball big sister Lucy?
No.
No, who is it?
Sophia.
Sophia. Thank you. Alright. So, and then what's 2 words that we could use to describe organic agriculture? What are 2 words if we were to summarize just into 2 words? Alice?
No synthetic fertilizers or pesticides.
Oh, that's more than 2 words. Kai, what's 2 words?
No pesticides.
Okay, so potentially no pesticides, right? Or maybe Garrett, what's 2?
No chemicals.
Okay, or no chemicals. Maybe that works because then that includes pesticides, fertilizers, It might include the fact that, and we'll go into this later, but you can't use like genetically modified organisms and things like that in organic. So all good things, even if you use more than 2 words, completely valid. But at this point, we have a couple of questions, and once again, you do not have to write these down. But we're going to move forward and answer these. So the 5 questions that I have that I feel like will encompass everything that we need to know is what is the goal of organic or sustainable agriculture? What does a farm have to do to be certified organic? Because if you have a food that says certified organic on that label, that farm has to go through a very long process to get that done. Okay. Number 3, how is organic food different from other foods? I feel like that's important. Number 4, is organic food better for you? And number 5, how has traditional agriculture affected the environment? So, I am going to number you off. On your papers, what you're going to do, what I'd like you to do, and let me see if I can show this on the board correctly. You need to do, because you do not have to write those questions, but we are going to answer all 5 of them. Write at number 1. Leave 1, 2, 3 lines on your paper. Okay? Number 2. Leave 1, 2, 3 lines. You don't have to draw the lines. You already have lines on your paper. Okay? Number 3. That way, once we get to answering these questions, you have space, but we're not going to answer them all in the same order at the same time. Does that make sense? So let's take time. We're going to structure our paper perfect, and then 4 and 5. Okay, we have 5 questions total. Make sure that you have space to answer all of these. And I want to give ourselves at least 3 lines to draw. That's perfect. That's exactly what I'm looking for. Perfect. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Grace. Thank you, Alex. Perfect. Thank you. Okay. So what I'm going to do, you're going to get numbered off 1 through 5. You are now in charge of collecting this information for your group. Okay, so you'll notice that there is a red sticky note on each one of your tables. These are now different stations, 1 through 5. At your table, we number you off 1 through 5. And for some of our tables that have 6, you'll probably have duplicates, and that's okay. Once you get to your station, you're going to get a number. You're going to go to your station with that number. So if Jab was assigned number 2, he'd stay at his table. But if Emma was assigned number 2, she'd go to the number 2 table. Okay? At your station, you're going to take the time to read your article. There are 5 printouts of each article. If there's 6 of you, then you can share. Okay? Once everyone has read it, then as a group, you're going to work to make a 2-sentence summary of this article that answers your question. The question is on the paper. Okay? You'll have 5 minutes to do this. Once that's done, we'll come back to our tables. You'll report back and say, well, I had number 3. How is organic food different from other foods? And you're going to tell them why. That way, then everyone at your table can answer the question that you researched. Does that make sense? Yep. Okay. So let me number you off. Well, first, let me show you where the tables are. So up here is table number 1. That's the bean table. Table number 2 is over at the cats table. Table number 3 is here at the cats. Table number 4 is over here at the pears. And table number 5 is at the suns. Okay? So I'm going to number you off. What do you do when I give you your number? Put it on your fingers. Okay? So Brooke, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. Okay? So 2 tables have duplicates. That's okay. Now you have a buddy at your table. Does everyone know where they need to go? If you're a 1, you're going to go here. If you're a 2, you're going there. 3, 4, 5, move. Are you 2? No, you can move comfortably. All right, 20 seconds to find our tables. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. Awesome. So, at this point, we're all going to access one of our pieces of paper that has our article on it. Let's take the next at least 2 minutes, and we're going to have quiet time. That way everyone has the opportunity to read their article. If your article's a bit longer, I know it might take longer, and that's okay. Try to not mark it up. I'm going to reuse these for 7th period. So, at this point, pass out your article. We're going to have 2 minutes to just read. So we don't want to interrupt anyone who's trying to read. Alrighty, at this point, if you are not done reading, that's okay. We're going to take 3 minutes to work with the group that we're in to make a 2-sentence answer to our question. So keep in mind, and you can write this on your paper, but if you're number 3, put your answer under the number 3 part. I hate for you to fill it in on number 1. It gets how mixed around, we have to draw arrows. So keep in mind, if you're number 5, you're answering that under your number 5 area. If you're number 1, then that's easy. 2, 3, 4, pay attention to where you're writing, okay? What questions do we have? Awesome. Yes, Kai. Oh, you're good?
Yeah.
Okay. You have 3 minutes. If you have any questions about what's in it, feel free to ask. You have 3 minutes to make a 2-sentence answer to your question. You're going to shout it through.
What's my question again?
It says it right here. Yeah.
Oh.
Do number 5. Did you have a question? I know you guys are pretty long one. Okay, is
Where? It's like on the middle of the second session. It's over the past 40 years.
So it's not used as much?
So, we should say...
So I see that most food available is not completely organic. Okay. When you did it say anything about the taste of food?
He's already writing.
I see that this first is probably already okay. And what is that?
I could find the correct choice of words. What I found, okay, traditional farming is one of the main causes for deforestation and the loss of biodiversity. This leads to many species numbers plummeting and water pollution because of runoff. That's 2 sentences. That's well, because I have to, because species numbers plummeting, not species population. Okay, we gotta answer them.
Only the Yale got
Yeah, traditional farming is one of the main causes for deforestation and the loss of biodiversity. This leads to many species numbers species population numbers plummeting and water pollution because of runoff.
Did we find that in our text? Do you remember reading that part?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Populations of wildlife monitored by scientists have dropped by 2/5 of that average. As runoff to rivers and landscapes picks up all areas of pollutants, natural man-made, which then deposits in hot water.
So I'll give us. If we need more time, say need it.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll do 2 more minutes. Make sure you can get 2 sentences.
So, what did you put?
Traditional farming is one of the main causes for deforestation and the
I
loss
can't
of
write that fast.
traditional farming
Y'all agree on an answer? Yes. What's our answer?
is one of the main causes.
Productivity. 2 words. What is productivity? Like 2 sentences.
For deforestation and the loss of biodiversity.
What is productivity? We're gonna use it. You gotta know what it means.
Wait, what was after the main
For deforestation and the loss of biodiversity.
Okay, so like technique. I like the answer used another word.
How do you write diary?
Okay, so productivity can mean being
How do
productive.
you
Like,
write
yeah,
diary?
it's done. That's true.
Okay.
If you were talking about agriculture, I think it's talking about more stuff. Okay, so we're saying that its goal is to, let's see, where did we get this?
It's line 8.
Wait,
How do you write that?
Primary goal, organic agriculture, optimize health, productivity, vegetable dimension, community, soil, plants, animals, and people.
D-I-V-E-R.
Say it in your own words.
S-I-T-Y.
Louisa, how do you use it?
After that word is like, after that biodiversity. After that.
This leads to many species population numbers plummeting.
Louisa said it in your own words.
This leads what?
To many species population numbers plummeting.
5 seconds.
What?
And water pollution.
Alrighty, go back to your home table. Stack your papers in the middle. Thank you. Stack your articles in the middle before you leave. Thank you.
And water pollution.
No, we're not done. No packing up. Alrighty, hear my voice, clap once. If you can hear my voice, clap twice. Alrighty. At this point, each person at your table will have 2 minutes to share with everyone else what they learned, and then we have that time to answer our question. So we're going to go in order. So whoever your table had number 1 will read the question, and that's, hold on, and that'll be right here. So people number 1 are answering, what is the goal of organic or sustainable agriculture? Make sure that you can answer that for the people at your table. And then go to person who had number 2, 3, 4, 5. You have 2 minutes per person. I'll have a timer going, and I'll let you know when to switch, because I want to make sure that we can get through all of it. What questions do we have? Awesome, go.
The primary. No, but I'm
number 4.
I got number 3.
Good.
The primary goal is the productivity of the course. The goal is to optimize.
So you have number 1.
Wait, what happened? I can to optimize health and productivity.
Our goal is to optimize what? The health of what? Plants. Plants and what? And productivity.
I need to be certified by organic.
1 minute left for this question. For question number 1. If you got the time to move forward, then you can move forward. I just want to make sure that we keep it pushing.
Need to be certified by organic inspectors.
Needs to what?
Be certified by organic
If you have the
inspectors.
time, you can
You said you look real good at
Me.
You said you look real good at
Organic means the product if it had no
Yes, sorry.
organic means the product if it had no
At this point, move forward to each question as you get there. I'll let you know when we should be completely done and we can go over as a class. If you get question 2, go to question 2. 3, go to 3.
Okay, 4. Organic means the product if it had no chemicals.
Good job. Is that for number 3 or for number 4? 3?
There are less chemicals in organic food, but no more nutrients.
Oh my gosh.
Whoa!
Oh, yes.
There are less chemicals in organic food, but no more nutrients.
Okay, so when it's grown, it's yeah. So it's grown, they're using
Traditional farming is one
There's really no difference.
main causes for deforestation and the biodiversity.
It's just
Yeah.
okay,
This leads to many species population burning and
we should be on question 4. We should be on question 4.
Who's number 3? I did number 5. Okay. Who else is in question 4? Okay, so yes, it is. It has organic. I should have organic. Yes, organic is better for you. It has pesticides. Yes, because it has. It's not deadly. Better. For organic food is better for you. because it has less pesticides and antibiotics exposure. And antibiotics. Alright guys, mine is super easy. Yes. Antibiotic, pesticides, and exposure. Do you think
we're on me now too.
what?
We're on me now too.
Oh, that's so cute. Okay. Organic, you think it's better? Okay, so pesticides. Okay. Last one. I don't have. There's a lot of
Oh, I have only one thing. One of us on this table has like a 4 paper concept.
and antibiotics.
You have your 4 paper concept.
I have two.
I have one.
I just don't think it's that.
Yeah. I have coffee.
It's like,
One more minute.
alright, which is not that. I don't even
What was number 5? What did you say?
I have to say is 6 or 2 pages ahead of me because I'm on page 28 right now. I'm on, yeah, I got 2 things down for the
That's okay.
I have like
Alrighty, if you can hear my voice, clap once. If you can hear my voice, clap twice. So, looking forward, because we don't have too much time left, but we will still do our weekly task. Tomorrow we're going to answer these questions as a class, but the thing is, I want to hear these answers from someone who did not look at the article. So if you were a number 3, I might have you answer a question from number 1. This means that you're able to get that good information and understand that from the people at your table, and you'll have a couple of minutes to explain those tomorrow. Okay? And then to better understand, because I definitely heard some discussion at this back table that maybe we don't know for sure what the words pesticide, fertilizer, and antibiotics are. And that's okay. So we're going to move forward and understand more of what man-made or synthetic means, what compost is. Let me make sure that I have your attention. So we're not quite done. There we go. Okay, so we'll move forward and we'll make a Venn diagram to understand that. To end today, let's look at what our weekly task is. Okay, for Wednesday, you're going to define the term organic. Once you have that written down, you are good to pack it up.